Assalamualaikum, I Anis Rakila binti Razwan will explain about the definition and background of the company that we choose, which is for the local company, CCK Consolidated Holding Berhad, and the Landcorp Farming Limited Pamu for the overseas company. Okay, for the background of the CCK Consolidated Holding Berhad, CCK Berhad was established on 5 August 1996 as investment holding company and located in Sarawak and Sabah in Malaysia. The company was fully integrated supply chain that consists of feed mill, breeder farms, hatchery, broiler farms, layer farms, and retail store. CCK involved in the rearing and production of poultry products, prawn and seafood products, and supply and trades of food products and related service. Vision and mission of the company is the provision of quality food ensuring customer satisfaction and environment interaction, achieved through integrated solution involving innovation and integral teams of committed people. There are 5 main reportable segments under the company, which are: the first one is poultry segment. It's involved in the rearing and production of poultry products. The second one is prawn segment. Prawn segment involved in the rearing and production of prawn and seafood product. And the third one is food service segment, which is involved in the supply and trading of food products and related service. Fourth one, retail segment. Retail segment involved in the trading of cold storage produce. And the last one is corporate segment that involved in all the production occur. Financial reports in accordance with the FAR560, 141, IFRS 41 and Companies Act 2016. For the Landcorp Farming Limited, which is Pamu, is incorporated as a state-owned enterprise on 1 April 1987, operate under the State-Owned Enterprise Act 1986, supplies farm management and related services to other commercial farmers and rural investors. Core business, which is pastoral farming, including dairy, sheep, beef, and deer. Also runs forestry plantation. In the Landcorp, the financial statement have been prepared in accordance with NZ Generally Acceptance Accounting Practices GAAP under the Companies Act 1993, Financial Reporting Act 2013, and New Zealand International Financial Reporting Standards. Okay, what is agriculture activity? Agriculture activity is the management by the entity of the biological transformation and harvest of biological asset for sale or for conversion into agricultural produce or into additional biological asset. Okay, what is agriculture produce? Agriculture produce is the harvested produce of the entity's biological asset. While what is biological asset? A biological asset is a living animal or plant. A burial plant is a living plant that, first, used in the production or supply of agriculture produce, is expected to bear produce for more than one period, and the third one has a remote likelihood of being sold as agriculture produce except for the incidental scrap sales.
My name is Aidana Alisa and I'm going to present on the measurement on biological asset for CCK Consolidated Holding Berhad and also Landcorp Farming Limited. A biological asset shall be measured on its initial condition and at the end of each reporting period on its fair value less cost to sell, except for the case that described in the paragraph 30, where the fair value cannot be measured reliably. CCK Consolidated Holding Berhad is comprised of poultry, livestock, and also prawn. So the biological asset is measured on initial condition and at the end of each financial period. It comprises of fair value less cost to sell with the changes of the fair value less cost to sell for the period where it is arised in the SOPL. So the cost to sell include all the costs that will be necessary to sell the asset, include the cost necessary to get the asset to the market, but exclude the final cost and the income taxes. So agricultural produce is the harvested product from the group's biological asset and is measured at a fair value less cost to sell at the point of harvest. So such measurement is the cost at the date when transferring the harvested product into inventory. So agricultural produce for the group include egg from laying hen. Landcorp Farming Limited, the biological assets are in the scope of IRS 41, where it is measured on the initial recognition and at the end of each reporting period with the fair value less cost to sell, unless the fair value cannot be measured reliably. Agricultural produce is measured at fair value less estimated cost to sell at point of harvest. Since harvest produce are marketable, so there is no measured reliability exception for produce. The gain initial recognition of biological asset is included in the SOPL, and also the gain from the agricultural produce at fair value less cost to sell also included in the SOPL for the period which it is arise. So the example of biological asset is such as livestock and forestry, while for the agricultural produce such as milk, wool, and also the velvet. So that's all from me.
My name is Nur Hanisa binti Abdul Rahim, and today I would like to present about the recognition criteria. For the first company, CCK Consolidated Holdings Berhad, they use MFRS 141 Agriculture, which give definition: an entity shall recognize a biological asset or agricultural produce when and only when, first, the entity controls the asset as a result of past events. Second, it is probable that the future economic benefit associated with the asset will be flow to the entity. And the last one is the fair value or cost of the asset can be measured reliably. In agricultural activity, control may be evidenced by, for example, legal ownership of cattle and the branding or otherwise marking of the cattle on acquisition, birth, or weaning. The future benefits are normally assessed by measuring the significant physical attributes. For this company, the biological assets of the group mainly comprise broilers and layers. For the second company, which is Landcorp Farming Limited or Pamu, they use the New Zealand IAS 41 Agriculture, which give definition: an entity recognize a biological asset or agriculture produce only when, first, the entity controls the asset as a result of past event. Second, it is probable that future economic benefits associated with the asset will be flowed to the entity. And the last one, the fair value or cost of the asset can be measured reliably. First, the entity controls the asset as a result of past event. The livestock and forestry biological asset are recognized since the entity controls the asset by the legal ownership. The entity also has the power to obtain the future economic benefit flowing from the underlying resources, and this will restrict the access of others to these benefits. The second one, future economic benefit associated with the asset will be flowed to the entity, which is a process, a physical growth of the livestock and the agricultural produce, including milk and wool, were sold to the consumers, and the gain in fair value of the forestry plantation. And the last one, fair value or cost of the asset can be measured reliably. This will be presented in the New Zealand dollars, and the Landcorp values its livestock and forestry plantation using the market values. And the last one, market values for the livestock reflected and measured based on the age, breed, weight, and also the genetic merit. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Nafa Akila binti Hasna Afian, and now I will continue with the presentation and disclosure for both of the company. So for the local company that we have chosen, which is CCK Consolidated Holdings Berhad, this company adopt MFRS 141 for their agriculture and biological asset. Based on paragraph 40, it has been stated that an entity shall disclose the aggregate gain or loss arising during the current period on initial recognition of biological assets and agriculture produce, and from the change in fair value less cost to sell of biological asset. So based on the company SOPL, we can see that there is a fair value gain on biological asset, and in their notes to the financial statement, the company do disclose the change in the fair value less cost to sell of the biological asset. So for paragraph 41, an entity shall provide a description of each group of biological assets. Paragraph 2 stated that the disclosure required by paragraph 41 may take the form of narrative or quantified description. And paragraph 46 stated that an entity shall disclose the nature of its activities involving each group of biological assets and non-financial measures or estimate of the physical quantities of each group of the entity's biological asset at the end of the period and the output of the agriculture produce during the period. So based on the company notes to the financial statement, we can see that the company do disclose the description of each group of the biological asset in narrative description. It shows that the quantity of the biological asset and the nature of its activities. So next, we are going to look at the overseas company, which is Landcorp Farming Limited, which is also known as Pamu. So Pamu adopt New Zealand IAS 41 for their agriculture and biological asset. Based on paragraph 40, an entity shall disclose the aggregate gain or loss arising during the current period and initial recognition of biological assets and agriculture produce, and from the change in fair value less cost to sell of the biological asset. So based on the company notes to the financial statement, we can see that the company do disclose the fair value gain and losses during the period for their biological asset. In paragraph 41 and paragraph 42 stated that an entity shall provide a description of each group of biological asset and may take the form of narrative or quantified description. And paragraph 46 stated that an entity shall disclose the nature of its activities involving each group of biological asset and non-financial measures or estimate of the physical quantities of each group of the entity's biological asset at the end of the period and the output of agriculture produce during the period. So based on the company notes to the financial statement, we can see that the company do disclose the quantity of the biological asset by using quantified description, and they also disclose the nature of activities of the biological asset. So even though both of the company use different accounting standards, which is MFRS 141 and New Zealand IAS 41, but their accounting presentation is still the same. So that's all from us. Thank you.